hang out with Jimmy Iovine, or was it?
Oh yeah, Jimmy, Ted Field. There were only 14 of us
Right.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just the your basic skeleton staff starting to label. I remember like when we went to Gerardo's house to stuff bags for the promo party that we had. So we were all like stuffing bags with the CD samplers, and his dad made us like this delicious Mexican meal. So we were at Gerardo's house, and then we had a giant party for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That was like one of our first soundtrack things that we did through Ted's film company. We had Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Think about Mark Wahlberg now, and Mark Wahlberg when he was like the Calvin Klein underwear model, and he had his group, the Funky Bunch. Then there was Death Row Records that was like across the hall from us. Talk about crazy town. That was like crazy.
All right. Well, I need a Crazy Town story.
Well,
why?
I mean, we had Snoop and Dre and Tupac and Suge Knight, who is the scariest human on the face of the planet. And I just remember some stories. Let's see. Well, we had a security guy in the lobby because we were in the bank building at the corner of Westwood and Wilshire. We're in the bottom floor is a bank, right? So we had a security guy that just sat in the lobby and read the newspaper, but he was fully packed. And one Tuesday, I know vividly it was a Tuesday because it's radio day. We were getting ads, and I'm at my desk collecting ads, and I had my headset, attached to like I could unplug it and go to the bathroom and then come back. Nothing was like remote or anything. So I got up to go to the bathroom, and LAPD was just coming up onto the 14th floor where we worked and it was like closed off the whole floor because they came to look for the um, pink slip to Snoop's Jeep that was allegedly involved in a murder. Like the vehicle was in a murder. And so they came to get the pink slip because Jimmy bought Snoop the Jeep. So they thought Jimmy had the pink slip. And so they closed off the entire floor. They surrounded the whole like corner of the building right down the street from like UCLA. And so I go out to the bathrooms were like out by the elevators in the lobby. And I went to the bathroom and they're like, you can't go back in. We're like locking the floor. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's Tuesday. Like it's ad day. I gotta get ads. I can't be out here waiting. Like this isn't what I'm gonna be doing. And they were like, well, no, you gotta wait. And then I just remember Jimmy telling them why would they think he was so stupid to have the pink slip to Snoop's Jeep when he bought it for cash or something like that from my vague memory. But anyway, so that was one incident. And then there was another one where we had a street kid named Fabian Duvernay, Fade. He was the coolest guy ever. I loved him. He did all their street promotions. He did all the flyers and everything. Went to all the clubs, and he was the coolest guy. And he used to call me Nails because I was working 9 Inch Nails at the time, so he called me Nails. And he was just awesome. But for whatever reason, I think, and he was like a skinny, wiry kid, like super thin and tall. And he pissed off Jug. And I just remember walking by and Suge had him by the neck, like up in the corner, like pushed him against the wall and was like screaming at him about something that he didn't do or did do or whatever. And that was really scary. But just like a lot of stuff, like
Oh.
crazy things and I remember my mom calling, are you staying in your office? You're work. We're not, Bob. We got this guy in the lobby. He's packed. We're good. But it was just
Comforting to a mother.
funny. Yeah, I know. My mom's like, "Are you shot at work?" No, we're fine. We're fine. But this is a lot of there are so many like great artists that started there. at Interscope, you know, but when we had Nine Inch Nails and Manson
Yeah.
and Prick and the Jim Rose Traveling Circus. They were all on tour one year.
I remember going to that show at the Universal Amphitheater.
Yes, yes,
I was courted by, well, you worked with Rambo, right? Dave Darris, is that?
yes, Rambo. He was another one.
Yeah, I think, did he give himself that nickname? I seem to, like, when I saw him, he's like, yeah, just call me Rambo. Everyone calls me Rambo. Like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Hey, fella. He called everybody fella.
Yeah.
Fella. Hey, fella. I just remember going to restaurants with him and he'd be like, hey, fella. He called the waiter fella, whether they were a girl or a boy. Hey, fella, see this drink over here? If it gets down to halfway, I want you to come back and fill it up again. I don't want to be farting dust over here. Like that was like Rambo, you know? Just so hilarious.
Oh man. Yeah. So you did have to put out a lot of fire. I'm sure with Marilyn Manson, and you had that tour, that whole Jim Rose, with Jim Rose and all his.
Oh my God, that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, they were crazy. There was a lot going on backstage that I just avoided because I didn't want to get I was scared, I was just like, I'm not going back there. I don't, great to work with. I mean, they did everything we asked them to do. I just remember being in like Arby's in Salt Lake City, Utah, when we first put out Manson, and they're all in their like, makeup, and he had the contacts on, and people were like looking at us like we were super weird. Well, looking at them, probably, I don't know that I was part of that, but maybe obviously, because I was with them. And then one day I had to pick up Manson to go to Kevin and Bean, and he was running late, and so I picked him up and we're gonna go on the morning show. He's like, I don't have my makeup on, I can't go, I'm not ready yet. And I'm like, dude, it's not on video, who cares? Well, I go, put on sunglasses and lipstick and let's roll. He was just like not ready, but it was funny because he's like, I don't have my makeup on. I'm like, come on, like, let's go.